Hello friends, welcome to Cloud Pedagogy. In today's lab, we will walk through the steps on how to enable versioning on AWS S3 bucket. Versioning in Amazon S3 is a means of keeping multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. You can use the S3 versioning feature to preserve, retrieve, and restore every version of every object stored in your buckets. With versioning, you can recover more easily from both unintended user actions and application failures. So, if you are ready, let's jump into our task. In the first task, we are going to create an S3 bucket. In task 2, we will enable versioning for the bucket. In task 3, we are going to upload a file inside the bucket. In task 4, we'll try to change the bucket policies. In task 5, we are going to test the object versioning. So start with task 1, create an S3 bucket. On the S3 dashboard, click on Create Bucket and fill the bucket details. Select the region as North Virginia and enter a bucket name. Leave other settings as default and then click on Create. Good job, you have successfully created an S3 bucket. In the next task, we are going to enable the object versioning. This task enables versioning on a bucket using the console. To enable or disable versioning on an S3 bucket, go to the bucket list and then click on your bucket name. On the Properties tab, under the bucket versioning, choose Edit. Choose Enable Versioning and then click on Save. Now versioning on the S3 bucket is enabled. If you enable versioning on a bucket for the first time, it might take some time for the changes to be fully propagate. Good job, you have enabled the object versioning on a bucket. In task 3, we are going to upload a file. After you enable versioning on a bucket, Amazon S3 automatically adds a unique version ID to every object stored in the bucket. So let's upload any file from your local machine and check. On the S3 bucket list page, click on your bucket name and then select Upload to upload a file. Here I am selecting some random file which has some text. Browse for the file and then click Upload. You can watch the progress of the upload on the screen. Once your file has been uploaded, it will be displayed in the bucket. Good job, you have successfully uploaded a file inside the bucket. In the task 4, we are going to change the bucket policy and permissions. In this task, we make the bucket public with a bucket policy. First, we are going to make the bucket as a public access. Select the Permissions tab. In the Block Public Access section, enable the checkbox and then click Save. In the Permission tab, click the Bucket Policy. Here you can see a blank bucket policy editor is displayed. Copy the bucket policy from the description. Before saving the policy, you will need to copy the ARN of your bucket and then paste that inside the policy. It is displayed at the top of the policy editor. After you add your bucket ARN, click on Save and then click on Overview. Copy the URL of the object and paste it in a new browser. You should see the same text which is in the file. Good job, you have successfully changed the permissions and object policy for the bucket. In task 5, we are going to test object versioning. In this task, we test object versioning by changing the file content and then re-uploading it. Here, I am changing the content inside the file and re-uploading the same file inside the S3 bucket. Click on Upload button and then Add Files. Browse the same file name which the content is changed. Then click on Upload button. As you see here, there is no new file is added. because you have uploaded with the same file name. Only thing is you have to check the versions of the same file name. Open the file name and you should see the latest version of the file you have uploaded in the versions tab. If you want to see the older version, just go to versions tab and click on the older version and copy and paste the URL. You can see the older version file with their version ID in the URL. To enable the old version of the file, we need to delete the latest version of the file to use as a current. Let's delete the recent file which we have uploaded and then refresh the URL of the object. As you can see here, the old file is acting as a current file. Congratulations, you have successfully created an S3 bucket, enabled object versioning on that bucket, and then uploaded and tested the file inside the bucket with the versioning concept. Just for a note, objects that are stored in an Amazon S3 bucket before you set the versioning state have a version ID of null. When you enable versioning, existing objects in your bucket do not change. What changes is how Amazon S3 handles the object in the future requests. So, that's all for today's lab. We'll meet again in the next session. Until then, take care.